Good girl.
Miss Christenberry, what are you doing?
I'm just working on some training. Sit. Shake. Good girl. Lay down. Lay down. Good girl. Hey, first grade mathematicians. This week we've been talking about fractions. And on Monday we talked about how when we're looking at things that are divided or there are fractions, they have to be in equal parts. And then on Wednesday we talked about how things can be whole, like you can eat the entire cookie, the whole cookie. Things can be divided into half, meaning there are 2 parts. Or things can be divided into fourths, meaning there are 4 parts. Today we're going to continue talking about that, but instead of just identifying if something is whole, half, or fourths, today we're going to take it a step further and we are going to be dividing things into half and fourths. Alright, Spartans, so at the beginning of this video, you saw me doing some training with Georgia. And because she's a crazy puppy, we have to actually do that pretty often. And so Mr. Christenberry and I decided that it might be a better idea if we started dividing her treats into smaller pieces so that her belly wouldn't hurt when we were working on that training. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be working on dividing some dog treats into halves and into fourths. So why don't you come and take a look. You can see that her treats are pretty small here. And I have this knife that I could divide one into half, meaning there are 2 equal parts. And then I could also take this knife and divide it into 4 equal parts. Remember, the trick is dividing it into those equal parts. But because that is super hard to see, I want to show you over here. When I divide something into half, I know that there are 2 parts. So I'm going to draw a line right down the middle, and I see that this side of the dog treat and this side are the same. This is a good example of dividing something into half. Now when I hear half, I know 2 parts, so I might just say, oh, 1, 2. Take a moment, pause this video, and tell me, do you think that this is divided into equal parts? I agree, it's not. This side is much bigger. Georgia Peach would want this side of the bone rather than this side. Because of that, I know that this is not divided equally. Well, let's try dividing something into fourths. How many parts are there in 4? 4, right? So if I just decided, okay, I can draw a line here, here, and here. Look at those 4 parts and you tell me, are they divided equally? Pause the video, tell your dog, tell your mom, tell a stuffed animal. What do you think? You're right, they are not divided equally. I'm going to show you one more time. I might divide it in half this way, and then I might be able to divide it in half this way. And now I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Today, Spartans, your job is going to be identifying shapes that are divided in half and fourths, and then you're going to divide those shapes into halves and fourths. This is something that you will do not just in math class, but you'll do when you're cooking in the kitchen or you're sharing a snack with a brother or sister. Just remember that your parts have to be equal, and halves means 2 parts, and fourths means 4. You've got this, Spartans.